lawak ng daan, ilang pangarap ang tutungo sa ginhawaan. Ligtas na uuwi, ligtas na tatawi, tuparin ang dugo ng bayan. Ating ingatan ang kanilang kinabukasan. Ating isipin at ating dalhin na tayo'y mayaring tiyemper. Bawat araw panatan natin na tayo'y mayaring tiyemper. BTS, mayaring tiyemper. BTS, mayaring tiyemper. Walang mauuna, walang magpapaiwan, sabay-sabay tayo sa biyahe ng BTS. Kung arangkada buong bayan ang ating dala, ito lang ang biyahe, hindi pwedeng pumara. Ipagsigawan ang ating bayanihan. Ating isipin at ating dalhin na tayo'y mayaring tiyemper. Bawat araw panatan natin na tayo'y mayaring tiyemper. BTS, mayaring tiyemper. BTS, mayaring tiyemper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo'y bayani, bayaning tiyemper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo'y bayani, bayaning tiyemper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo'y bayani, bayaning tiyemper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo'y bayani, bayaning tiyemper. Ating isipin at ating dalhin na tayo'y bayaning tiyemper. Bawat araw panatan natin na tayo'y bayaning tiyemper. BTS, BTS, bayaning tiyemper. BTS, BTS, bayaning tiyemper. BTS, BTS, bayaning tiyemper. BTS, BTS, bayaning tiyemper. BTS, bayaning tiyemper. Bayaning tiyemper. BTS, bayaning tiyemper. Bayani ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan. Ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper. Umulan umaraw, masasandalan parang pader. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa. sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayani ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan, ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper, umulan umaraw masasandalan parang pader. Itaguyod ang kaayusan sa kalsada, sasakay ka ng walang anumang pangamba. Karapatan ng mga tsuper ay isusulong, mga programa na sa kanila'y makakatulong. Dahil kayo'y maituturing din na bayani, maliit na kita tuloy lang sa pagsisilbi. Maiangat ang ekonomiya sa ating lipunan, tagapaghatid sa pag-unlad ng ating bayan. Tara na't umarangkada sa pag-unlad papunta, sakay na at sumama sa BTS. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan, malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayani ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan, ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper, umulan umaraw masasandalan parang pader. Pagripaso at paggawa ng mga batas upang ang buhay natin ay umangat naman ng antas. Ang bayaning tsuper ay tayo ring mga Pilipino, direksyon ng ating buhay tayo ang nagmamaneho. Benepisyong nararapat ay hindi pagkakait, solusyon ang tugon sa mga hinanaing. Sa ating biyahe ay walang ni isa ay maiiwan tungo sa maayos na kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Tara na't umarangkada sa pag-unlad papunta, sakay na at sumama sa BTS. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan, malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan, malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan, malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayani ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan, ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper, umulan umaraw masasandalan parang pader.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to Voice of Peace. We are live here on Vantage Point Media every Tuesday, and we have our new schedule. I hope na-receive po ng listeners natin ang bago nating announcement. We have our new schedule every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. na po tayo dito sa Vantage Point Media. At ngayon mapapanood na rin po tayo sa ating new partner, Barkada FM, every Tuesday, same time. Okay, so ako I'm very excited. Again, I'm Rica Feliciano from HWPL, a communications head. And I'm very excited for today's episode because mamaya makakasama po natin si Miss Samo. Pero bago yan, I would like to share a few updates on our recent events. Dahil marami po tayong mga naging events sa nakaraang linggo. Okay po. So, we will flash some pictures first. Last October 4, we had this is October 5, we had the MOU signing or renewal of the MOU signing with the Rotary Club of Quezon City Big Bike Riders. Ayan po. So, kasama namin sina Architect Alfred Carandang and of course, our partners. So, meron na tayong partnership with the Rotary Club of Quezon City Big Bike Riders, and nung mga nakaraang episodes, kung nakasubaybay po kayo, ay nag-guest din po natin sila dito sa ating programa. So, we renewed our partnership with them dahil matagal na rin po tayo na magka-partner pagdating po sa Peaceworks and Community Works. So, shout out and kay Architect Karandang and of course kay Direk Roderick Lindayag and President Vic Salvatierra, of course, our guest last time. And kasabay po niyan ay nag-MOU signing din po tayo with the International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians, Philippine chapter. Okay, so I'm very excited with this partnership kasi, their organization, they're interest-based po sila. So, they're all like interested in, of course, riding motorcycles, big bikes. Pero they do it with a cause, for a cause. Ayan. So, kasama po natin sila recently. And we also had the Peace Monument unveiling sa East. Ayan, meron na po tayo sa East. This is now our 21st Peace Monument nationwide. Ayan, I hope we can flash some pictures. So, dito po, dumalo yung mga officials and students from East, and the theme of the event is It Starts With Us, the unveiling ceremony of the East Peace Monument. So, it was truly inspiring kasi meron na pong mandate ngayon sa CHED, of course, through our Commissioner Ronald L. Adamat, na magtayo ng mga peace monuments sa mga educational institutions, especially sa higher educational institutions or mga tertiary level. So, congratulations sa bagong peace monument. And ngayon, I would like to welcome our guest for today na hindi naman na bago dito. At sabi ko nga sa inyo, baka ako pa yung interviewin niya.
I will try not to do that today.
Okay lang po. Ayan, so let's welcome our HWPL Publicity Ambassador, Miss Sam O.
Hello,
Welcome to the
Miss
show.
Rica. Hi, good morning. And everyone who is joining us for this show today. Hello, Vantage Point Media, of course, as always, thank you for having us. What's our ganap today? Ang dami namang ganap, Miss Rica.
Yes, kasi ang dami nating mga naging events in the past week. Ayan, just right after the World Peace Summit. So I was telling them about the Peace Monument earlier, that it's very important for us. Have you attended one of the unveilings?
I have. I was at the unveiling, which happened at Signal Village National High School. I'm sure every unveil. Oh no, and also there was one
Manila?
in Cotabato. Manila, that's right. What is that venue called nga? Again,
Plaza
Miss Rica?
Asuncion.
Yes. Hala, I've been in a few unveilings na pala. And yes, every monument is different. It's beautiful. I was also in the unveiling in Kapalong, Davao, for our Women's Partner Association, which is IWPG. I did want to ask a question though, because I think some people might be wondering this, Miss Rica. We are a very proactive organization. We do so many different activities. But what is the significance of something like a peace monument in the work that we do?
Thank you for the wonderful question. I believe because whenever we establish the peace monument, nung mga first, second, third peace monuments, they were quite different kasi yung model ng peace monument that time ay dove and parang ang laki. So talagang Instagrammable siya, But when it was first established in those places, the first one is in Buluan, Maguindanao, and the second one was in Camp Darapanan in Sultan Kudarat,
Which was so meaningful.
yes, sa MILF. So it holds a very different meaning for people who have experienced the conflict. Kasi for them, it's not just a landmark na pang Instagram, but it's a symbolism na this place is slowly transforming into a peaceful place. That the place is changing, and it's becoming more peaceful, and the monument represents yung yearning ng mga citizens, ng mga tao na we want peace, we don't want any more conflict, di ba? Mahihiya naman siguro yung magpapasabog doon kung magbobomba ulit sila sa lugar na yun tapos kakatayo lang ng peace monument. So,
Oh my gosh, knock on wood.
yeah, and then here, since we have now more monuments in the schools, perhaps the meaning or the message that we wanted to share is that, this school is a peace zone. Kasi meron tayong executive order na lahat ng schools should be declared as zones of peace. And putting a landmark in those areas is really meaningful, and it really shows na this place is really a zone of peace, and this school is supporting peace education, diba? We have the duty to create our students, our young ones into peacemakers, so that paglabas nila ng university, hindi sila magiging salot ng lipunan, as they say, 'di ba? Pero makakapag-contribute sila sa nation building. So ito yung isang message, and in the communities also, it's also very important for us to plant peace in the communities, kasi sa communities marami ding mga conflicts dyan, kahit na hindi siya war area. For sure, every community has their own struggle. So, bottom point, the purpose of these monuments is that whenever, someone passes by dun sa monuments na yun, mapapaisip sila, ano kayang meaning ng monument na to? And then when they see or read the inscriptions that is about peace, mag-remind sila na, hindi ito yung monument, yung mismong talagang magdadala ng peace sa lugar na yon. Kasi lang naman yan semento lang yan Pero ang tunay na peace monument ay tayo bilang mga tao, di ba? We are the living peace monuments who should embody the values of peace. Na wherever we go, kahit saan ka man dalhin, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or sa ibang bansa, you should be the one to spread peace, na yung mga tao sa paligid mo, pag nakita ka nila, mapapaisip sila na, ay, parang napaka-peaceful ng taong to. Gusto ko ring maging peaceful, gano'n. So, yun yung idea talaga ng Peace Monument.
That's a great answer. You are now officially crowned as Miss HWPL.
Thank you.
As the judge of this question and answer portion.
Kahit ako lang yung contestant.
No, but that's really good. I think, you're spot on with it being a physical reminder. And sana nga talaga, when they see something like our peace monuments, the takeaway will be, okay, I should be an agent of peace as well. I have to say though, I've seen quite a few, but the one in the municipality of Kapalong is maybe the biggest one. It's really tall, and I just thought it was remarkable, this particular monument. And I think it's maybe the latest one? No, after the one before, the one that you just mentioned now. But in any case, okay, so we have a new time slot, and the show is like an hour long na lang, no, Miss Rica?
Yes po.
Yeah, what are we going to fill up this time with today? What did you want to talk about?
Speaking of the past event, because I know you're fresh from
Fresh. Yes, I am fresh. Thank you.
Always fresh. Pero fresh from your home country. Ayan. And I know that you've visited South Korea and attended also the HWPL World Peace Summit this year. Ayan. So can you share yung mga milestones, mga experiences mo during this time? Like what's the the milestones, and what are the differences from the last year na summit?
Right. So this year's World Peace Summit was my second. And I was there in last year's as well, and the difference was so vast. I think just the scale of the event was maybe the most noticeable, because last year's World Peace Summit was yung parang talagang international conference, yung feel like, we were at a hotel. The events were happening in ballrooms. There were a lot of people from all over the world who flew in for this event. A lot of people moving about domestically as well in Korea, because, how many members do we have at this point? I think we have something like 500,000 worldwide. So just the scale of the event was something else. However, even in such a big event like that, I think one of the most noticeable things when HWPL has an event is the people are so organized, and they just move about in such a disciplined manner, I think. And I think the guests also notice that. Another thing that our guests always mention is, because we have protocols, right, for people who are flying in, VIP guests domestically also, and they always are raving about the care and attention that they are given by the protocols. And for me, it's such a heartwarming thing every time I, go to the World Peace Summit. This year was very different in that it happened at the Kosong Peace Training Institute. So the venue palang was much smaller. We still had people fly in from all over the world. Pero kakaiba rin because, the Peace Training Institute is by a lake. So a lot of our guests actually came in via boat, and the duration of the event was much shorter as well. So nothing really changed, with the objective of the event. It's always about, gathering once a year to dialogue about, okay, what progress did we make this year as, this global village that is working for peace, which is the initiative of HWPL, and then just sharing, ideas on how we can move forward, how we can improve on the work that we are doing, mga ganyan. So in that sense, it didn't change that much, but the scale was much smaller. And I think also, Ms. Rica, we're living in a very interesting time where, because religious harmony is also part of the peace initiatives of HWPL, right? But I think at this point, parang the messaging is starting to converge a little bit because we've already talked about how Chairman Lee is also a religious leader. He is coming from a place of he started the peace work because biblically speaking, God also wants a world of peace. And who else is going to do that? We have to move and do that ourselves. But more than ever, I think that messaging is becoming louder in these summits, and which I think is also evidenced by the online Bible seminars that have been happening recently. So there. But just to be more particular, I suppose, maybe we can talk about how there was an MOU signing. The Parlatino vice chairman was there. So this is the Latin American Parliament let me just look at my código because I need to. The vice chairman of the Latin American Parliament, or Parlatino, Vice Chairman Carlos Nunez Salinas was there. This is a group composed by countries of Latin America and the Caribbean. And then also Helder da Costa, who is the General Secretary of G7+. G7+ is an assembly of conflict-affected nations with about 20 member countries. So there was an MOU signing. So the work is getting bigger. And I think there was also a local campaign that was launched. It's called the Companion Campaign. So even locally, more people are getting involved. And I think that's going to be a trend that we're going to see every year. I said so many things to answer your question. Did I get a crown too? Do I get
Yes, I will pass the crown back to you. Thank you so much, Miss Sam, for sharing the highlights of the event. Although I wasn't there, I was really happy, just seeing the live stream. Teka, bakit ba ako nag-English? Hindi na pala si Panday yung guest ko. Kasi last episode, si Maharaj Panday yung guest ko.
I watched that. Sobrang nakakatuwa when... Kasi nga, again, that's coming from the World Alliance of Religions, right? The WARP office that we run as well in HWPL. And to have people of different faith, religions being able to sit and dialogue through our differences and then learning from each other as well. And trying to come to a common understanding. It's sobrang heartwarming also. But yes, I saw that episode.
Yeah, so... speaking of the World Peace Summit, because kagaya ng nabanggit niyo po na it's getting bigger, pero the message is really just the same. Diba? We have different people attending. Some people every year umaattend sila, some people hindi. But what's important is that every time na pupunta sila sa World Peace Summit, paglabas nila doon, pagbalik sa Philippines, meron silang mga projects na na-implement kaagad. So, I remember last year, it birthed to the contextualized peace education materials.
Oh, was that the result?
Yeah. So they were really inspired by what they saw, and they wanted to showcase na we can do something for our people, and then showcase this as an example to other countries that they can also use this one, they can also do this one.
Speaking of, so the first day was the main event where all the guests attended this main session, and then the second day was when the participants broke out into smaller groups to do roundtable discussions, right? So for the Philippine delegation, You know, the Philippines is always a model for different countries when it comes to, like, yes, implementing peace education. Right now, our Philippine delegation is also involved in a project where we are trying to have peace agreements that have been made in the Philippines be recognized by the international community. So I think in many ways, it's really, parang it's so exciting, and I get so happy for the Philippines when we start now, like, you know, sharing to other countries, like, okay, this is what's happening in the Philippines, and they ask, like, okay, how are you guys able to do that? You know, how, they wanna parang adopt this model that we are using here in the Philippines. So parang super nakaka-proud. I want to say hi to, you know, everyone who is tuned in on the live stream. Going back to the Peace Monument topic earlier, Miss Donna says Peace Monument is like a reminder of hope that we can achieve peace paunti-unti from a smaller scale onto a larger scale. It's a view that is visible to everyone despite the chaos that is still around us. That is true. Thank you, Miss Donna.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Ayun. So, I saw also, I actually attended the Zoom parang simulcast of the roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, maraming mga sessions. It's usually like that, even in our National Peace Convention last year.
Correct.
Na there's a plenary like session where everyone is there, and then there's a parang breakout room base sa sector. So they talk about, you know, the important issues na or projects that they're involved. And then we had the roundtable discussion on the HWPL Peace Policy and Culture Committee. I hope I said that right. So they're thinking of, or they're planning to create this committee para i-tie up yung culture and peace. So this is like a trend within HWPL that I'm seeing lately, and we can look forward to it in the next year. Abangan ang mga plans natin that, you know, we can tie up culture and peace, because when there's culture, or when there's like, through cultural arts, like, you know, painting, performances, singing. You know, I remembered something, Miss Sam.
Yes.
When I was in college, I was part of a parang choral group. Ang pangalan ng group namin is Pintinig. So from the words pintig at tinig. Kasi sabi nila, kapag kumakanta yung isang grupo or kahit dalawang tao, yung pintig ng puso, yung heartbeat, nagiging in sync siya kapag kumakanta sila ng sabay-sabay.
Oh.
Parang ganon. So parang
we are one.
We are one.
Which is our battle cry, yes.
So we are one. Kapag kumakanta yung isang grupo, magkakasama. Parang yung, alam mo yun, deep within, may sense of unity and belongingness na they're beating the same heartbeat. Something like that.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the most appealing things for me when I first found HWPL and realized all the different ways that HWPL does its peace works is ang dami nga pala talagang avenues. It's not just, I don't know, literally like stopping war, which I know is a big thing with HWPL, of course. I mean, we are drafting a legal document that we are trying to turn into international law through the UN. But yung tipong, like, what else can I do? But as just a normal person, I'm not a lawyer, you know, I'm not an expert at anything. But whatever thing interests you, you can turn into something that you can use for peace. Like you, being in this chorale group. I mean, who would have thought, right? And yes, I think last year that was a big thing. Na culture really became like, you know, center stage with HWPL World Peace Summit's theme as well, at least in the Philippines. There was a big focus on culture. So you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then looking at the history of HWPL, especially the World Peace Summit, it started as the Warp Summit. Ina-explain din ni Maharaj Pandey. It was really Warp Summit before.
So it was really more the religious harmony thing?
Yes, the
Okay.
World Alliance of Religions for Peace Summit. That was the original title. Parang lately na lang siya binago into a World Peace Summit kasi hindi na lang siya like exclusive for religious leaders. But
Yeah.
most of the people have their own religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs. Pero regardless of which sector they believe in, they can definitely propagate peace there.
Yep.
So, that was the start, and it was really nice. I saw the pictures of Maharaj Pandey then and the other religious leaders. You know, they were together and then they were
Nagre-reminisce kayo?
Yes, yes, medyo nagano kami, flashback ganyan. It's really nice seeing different religious people come together and, you know, talk about peace, not just, you know, just say na okay, we want peace, but they really sit together. And then no, dito ko siya na-appreciate kasi I haven't been to the, you know, deep dialogues before. Hindi ko pa siya naabutan, mga deep dialogues talaga nila when it comes to the scriptures. Pero talking to Maharaj Pandey last episode, it was very insightful kasi doon mo makikita na yung mga iba't ibang religion, marami talagang similarities.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about them.
We tend to focus on the differences, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Nakakatuwa na my gosh, 10 years, right? It's been 10 years.
Yes.
And they've been dialoguing with us for such a long time. And we do try to really support one another, by attending their events and just maintaining like this friendship. I think it's really beautiful and really like a physical manifestation of the things that we try to foster in the faith, diba? Instead of maybe going behind each other's backs and attacking each other for the differences that we have.
Yes.
But, it's interesting. Again, earlier I was talking about how the messaging of, yes, maybe perhaps because this summit even started as a WARP summit. So the focus was religious harmony. And now, Chairman Lee is really voicing out very loudly, even in these World Peace Summits, about how we really have to become one, like in the scriptures, which I think can take us to the topic of the Bible seminars that have been taking place recently. Chairman Lee is 93 years old, and he is traveling within South Korea and, physically, like, attending these Bible seminars that are being held in different parts of the country. What have your thoughts been, when watching Chairman Lee being so vocal about itong pagiging isa natin in the scriptures?
Yeah, so in the past years sa HWPL, he's really, promoting interfaith harmony for a very long time.
Yeah.
And part of that is because siya mismo nakaranas siya ng discrimination dahil sa religious differences. Even I, in the past, sa faith life ko, medyo paalon-alon kasi yung faith life ko eh. Tumalon-talon ako sa mga denominasyon before. So, ako yung isa sa mga...
just say, like, I really respect people who have done this. Yung talagang seeking ka, na talagang you're out there, you are gonna go to the different churches, you will really seek something out. I respect that.
Even sa religious community, may times na nadi-discriminate yung mga... May tawag sila doon eh. Tawag nila doon, church hopper. Although hindi naman ako naging like church hopper na ano talaga. Pero, I've been through that phase na talagang seeking ka, you're so open to different teachings, different doctrines. And then, before, kasi I was born and raised as a Catholic, and I had many questions, and then I tried born again, full gospel, and then I thought that time, nung nagpa-convert ako, okay na, masaya na yung buhay ko, parang peaceful na ito na yon. Pero, I had more questions, and then dun ko na-realize na, mas magulo pala sa Christian world.
Ano yung, when you decided na, okay, ito yung church, I think okay na ako, magiging peaceful na yung faith life ko. Like, what was it about that church that made you think that and decide that at that time?
At that time, yeah, because I was very young, and it's very appealing to the youth whenever you have this sense of community na marami kayong mga youth, and then they focus more on the motivating the youth to use your creativity, yung kabataan mo sa paglilingkod sa Diyos. So there's a sense of community, there's a sense of belongingness. Nag-ministry ako, I joined the music ministry and all these things. We have cell groups also, and then I learned how to read the Bible. Parang I was really motivated to read the Bible because before, although nagbabasa ako ng Bible, hindi ko siya taga naintindihan. Pero when you join like a born-again community, meron kayong daily devotions na assignment na kailangan nyo talagang gawin.
May assignment?
May ganon. Meron pa yung format na parang ano yung verse, ano yung application, ano yung prayers mo. So, in a way, it really helped me parang na mabuild din yung mindset ko na, every day you have to start your day with God, you have to end it with God, ganyan. And practice prayer and reading. So, there's a lot of changes in my lifestyle. So I really enjoyed it. And then we have some like camps, mga retreat, ganyan, na papaiyakin ka, iyak ka talaga, na parang magbabagong buhay na ako, mga ganong eksena. So,
and you were so young.
Yeah.
Magbabagong buhay ka, ang bata-bata mo pa. But no, really, I super admire young people who parang got into the faith very early. And yeah, I always, it's so amazing to me when I hear a young person who has gone through that. But please continue.
Yeah, there's quite a lot, actually. Pero, I was exposed na ang dami palang conflict even sa loob ng Christianity. Doon ko nalaman.
It's so ironic, diba?
Akala ko dati, akala ko talaga dati dalawa lang. May Christian, tapos may Catholic, tapos may born again, tapos yung iba is iba sila, ganon. Kasi madami pa, 'di ba? May mga Adventist, may iglesia, pero sa classroom, siguro sa environment din. Kasi sa classroom sa public school, parang konti lang yung minority lang talaga yung mga ibang denominations. Pero nung naging Christian ako, I was exposed na ang dami palang mga conflict kasi syempre nagjo-join ako ng communities, tapos nakikita ko, nag-aaway sila about revelation, nag-aaway sila about sa doctrine of salvation, ganyan. Ano ba to? Di inaral ko din. Tapos nung inaral ko, mas lalo akong nagulumihanan. Sabi ko, walang may ganito pa lang. May mga ism-ism pa yan, mga philosophy, whatnot. Ganon. Sabi ko, walang may mga ganito-ganito pala. Parang...
No, ako rin, I think one of the first questions as I was coming to the faith, which was much later on in life compared to you, parang ang saya-saya ko, like I was so joyful and peaceful. And ako rin, I didn't realize na there were so many different denominations and churches pala, all under the Christian umbrella. And I didn't know, like, why are we so different ba? Like, we're all Christians, but why are we so different that there are literally thousands of different denominations?
Yes.
Parang, like, where do these differences begin? How are we different? But yeah, I think at this point in my journey, and I am also echoing, Chairman Lee's sentiments on this as well now at this point, is the thing what we have in common is the scripture talaga. And that's also the basis when we do, our RPA, the Religious Peace Academy, the dialogues, the, WARP office, how it runs. Like, okay, let us all look at our scriptures because that's where we base our faith on. So I think also when you go to these Bible seminars that are being done online, we just finished one, which live streamed from Seoul. I have a feeling we have more coming up. But yeah, I think that's maybe a big takeaway. It's like, okay, all these Christians, we all come from like trying to live a life of faith based on this one book. So we have to kind of figure out, like, there's gotta be one true understanding, right? So yeah, hopefully that will lead everyone down that path.
Yes. I remember, nung nag-aaral ako ng parang scriptures or doctrines, merong tinatawag na exegesis. Yun
What
yung
does that mean nga again?
Exegesis. I forgot na yung exact na pero it's something like this. Parang, when you write a letter, for example, may binigay ka sa aking love letter, ganyan, or appreciation letter.
Love
Something
letter
love letter
yung binigay ko
Pwede
sa'yo.
naman eh. Something like that. Diba? Pag sinulat mo or sinulat mo yung letter na yon, meron kang intention, specific message na gusto mong ipahatid sa akin.
Right.
Pero sometimes yung recipient, base sa kaunawaan niya, 'di ba? Nagagamit niya yung sarili niyang understanding. Alam mo ibig sabihin niya nito, inaaway niya ba ako? Ganoon. 'Di ba? Ganito ba yung sinasabi niya? So minsan nagagamit natin yung own interpretation natin. So meron ding ganong klase ng I forgot what's it called. Pero medyo katunog siya ng exegesis.
Okay.
So, yung believer na nagbabasa ng scriptures, may tendency siya na i-interpret on his own yung scriptures base sa konteksto niya. So, for
Right.
example, may pinagdadaanan ka, tapos binasa mo yung verse na yun, ay, parang sa akin to parang ganito yung ibig sabihin niya. 'Di ba? Pero, pag sa exegesis, yung intention natin pagbasa ng scriptures is alamin kung ano yung intention ng nagsulat, hindi yung gusto kong marinig. Merong ganong klase ng study sa Bible. Although hindi natin siya ina-explore yung mga ganong terms, pero in the deeper Bible study, yun yung ginagawa natin, hinihimay natin. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng Diyos nung sinabi niya to? Ano ba yung context yung sa buong passage? Ano ba yung nangyayaring sitwasyon nung sinabi niya tong bagay na to? For example, sa Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, it's commonly naging Bible talk na.
Yes,
Ano, lagi kasi
I
siyang
love it.
lagi kasi siyang nagagamit, 'di ba? Minsan bio pa yan ng mga tao na parang sinabi doon na surely sinabi ng Diyos na parang I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, ganyan.
Right,
So
right.
sometimes we use it for ourselves, which is ako wala naman akong nakikitang mali. Pero before we claim na para sa akin to, we have to understand muna para saan ba yung verse na yon? Para kanino ba sinabi yon ng Diyos, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Sinabi niya yon for the Israelites, for the people, for the chosen people. Paano kung hindi ka chosen people, di ba? Paano mo makiklaim na para sa'yo ang plano ng Diyos? That's why we have to connect ourselves with the Bible. Sino ba yung pinatutungkulan dito ng Diyos? Paano ako magiging kabahagi nung sinasabi niya dito sa Biblia? Di ba? Para ma-ensure natin na yung pag-iisip ko, yung pagkaunawa ko sa text na to is aligned sa intention ng nagsulat, which is none other than God.
Masyado kasi tayong assuming minsan. Oo. But I agree with you. If you are maybe going through a difficult time and you feel like opening the Bible and finding some encouragement in some of the verses there, why not? Why not, right? If it's
Yes.
going to help you overcome whatever challenge you're going through. Pero I think the level after that is what you said. Na parang, okay, I can take this and interpret this in whatever personal way that I'd like, but if we believe that the Bible was written by God, and then, if there is an author, then obviously the author has an intention. Ano kaya yun? And then trying to now, yes, align your faith life with that would be parang the mature way to go about it. And yeah, I think that's why these online Bible seminars are helpful. That is also the message of, Chairman Lee, I think, that yes, there is a particular way for this to be understood, and we are sharing it, and everyone is welcome to listen. None of it is being imposed on anyone. Because, at the end of the day, it's our personal choice whether we are going to believe something or not. But this stuff is out there, so why don't you come? And he always says, you have to verify. You have to check the Bible, listen to what is out there, and check with the Bible. Kasi yun talaga yung dapat nagiging basehan and standard natin. Ayan, naging
Yes.
Bible class na po.
No worries. I believe we have some pictures.
Oh, we do.
Of the Bible seminar. I hope we can
Oh.
play the pictures that we had. So, can you share yung mga naging dates and the places that Chairman Lee has visited?
Let's try that based on the picture. So I guess, we can point out whenever there is a seminar, talagang people are going to gather in the tens of thousands. And we're not just talking about regular churchgoers, but we have media who will come and cover events like this. We also have a lot of pastors. The chairman actually directs a lot of his seminars at the pastors. He realizes that pastors are in a position to lead many others in the faith as well. So talagang they're the ones who need to have a good, solid understanding of the
Yes.
scriptures, right? We're just talking about salvation lang naman here. This is not, a light thing. So this is one of the pictures that were taken in one of the seminars recently. Let's see, I am trying to see if there's a signage here, a recognizable signage. Because, we have a lot of these pictures. I think this was the one in Incheon.
Incheon.
Yes, Incheon. Ayan, that's Chairman Lee. Again, he's 93 years old. That's him standing on the pulpit. And
Still healthy.
I know.
Energetic.
Very energetic. I think he's really most energetic when he is doing these Bible seminars.
Yes.
No?
Kumakanta pa nga siya nung
Wait.
napanood ko.
Where does that energy come from? My goodness. And he looks so joyful when he is talking in these Bible seminars. Can we look at the next picture, please? I believe, ayan. So there, in Korean, it says, ito yung pastor section. So, there is a special spot for the pastors. Because the chairman really likes to address them directly, which makes sense, of course, for the explanation that we gave earlier. And if we can look at the next shot, another picture of people gathering. And this is also in Incheon. Ayan. So, people
Daming
from
tao.
people from all walks of life, they are gathering, whether he's in Incheon, Busan, Masan, Seoul, whatever the location. There's a lot of interest in the Bible seminars, and they're free, and they're being live streamed. They're being translated into, I feel like every time we do a live stream, at least 10 languages. So if you're not physically able to go, of course, seeing as how we're not living in Korea, we can catch the live stream as well.
Yes.
Ayun.
So when you mentioned about the role of pastors and religious leaders in general, just
Yeah.
like Maharaj Pandey said, na the role of religious leaders is very important because they lead, people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who have spiritual needs, Of course, they go to the pastor or to the religious leader that they most align with. Pero if the pastor or the religious leader is medyo tagilid yung kanyang sinasabi or yung kanyang ginagawa, it stumbles people, and it's very sad because I've met a lot of Christians, a lot of believers na stumble sa leader. For example, may nakita silang hindi magandang ginawa, for example, na involved sa SA case, if you know what I mean.
What's that? What's SA
Sexual
case?
assault case.
Oh.
There's a lot of cases like that. And then yung sa pera, 'di ba, na involved sa pera. Ang daming mga ganong sitwasyon.
Sadly, quite common.
Yes.
And some of these like mega churches that are known internationally, I mean, we've seen some of them fall. Sadly, I don't think anyone is happy when these things happen. But you're right. People look up to their leaders in church. Not that we should be in a church because of a person. I think I'm also at a point now where we know not to look at people,
Yes.
but at the teaching and
Yes.
the direction that is coming from the church. People are, at the end of the day, they can let you down. They're not perfect.
True.
Yeah. But yes, a lot of people look to their leaders as the reason to be at a church. And I think that is the danger when you do that. It's like when they fall, ano na?
Yes. That's the tendency kasi when the believer is like an infant. Diba? Sa Bible meron tayong ganun, infant and mature believer. When the believer is an infant, of course yung tendency niya is mag-rely dun sa nakikita niyang adult, parent figure. It's only when a believer becomes mature na kaya niyang mag-think independently. Diba? Hindi siya nakatingin sa tao. Kasi
Right.
kapag independent ka na, may sarili ka ng pagpapasya. Ano mang gawin ng magulang mo, kaya mo ng, magsalita, diba? At mag-decide for your own. It's kind of like that. And then I also remember like a verse na, if that happens, kung ang isang tao na bulag, ililid niya yung isang tao pa na bulag, parang silang malalaglag. Parang
Tama.
gano'n. May
Right,
ganong
right.
quote sa Bible, which is something na naalala ko lang. So, technically yun, yung role ng religious leaders is very important. Yun din yung naisip ko before when I was in, when I was, doing or walking through my faith life, na marami akong mga like cell members na hinahandle at that point, pero inisip ko, even marami pa akong tanong about the Bible, marami pa akong hindi nalalaman. How can I lead these people to, follow the Bible if they have questions na hindi ko pa kayang masagot, and ako mismo hindi ko pa kayang masagot. But it's, you have to be really patient because the life of faith is a journey. So you really have to pray for it na, I hope na, i-reveal to sa akin, na matutunan ko lahat ng to. Yes,
I think that's such a humble heart to have, even if you are in a position of a leader. Yung kaya mong sabihin sa sarili mo na parang, okay, parang ang dami ko pang hindi alam. I think I need to be more equipped because, if these people are now put in my care and I have some influence now on how they're going to live their faith lives, you know, am I in a position that I could do that? And then being able to reflect on it and doing something about it. I think that's such a great heart to have as a leader. Yeah. Ayun, nag-mutual admiration.
pero that's very important kasi it's very dangerous kapag inisip mo na alam mo na lahat, even in the workplace, even kahit saan.
No matter which setting.
Yes,
Totoo,
yes.
totoo.
Kapag inisip mo na alam mo na lahat or kaya mo nang gawin, it's a very dangerous place to be in.
Yeah.
Kasi your enemy is yourself. Wow. Naging iba na.
So deep today our show, Miss Rica. Oh my gosh.
Na parang yung sarili mo din kasi yung nagpipigil para mag-grow ka. Kasi there's always something to learn as long as we are here, we are alive. Ayoko na nga, nag-philosophical na to.
Naalala ko tuloy si if Miss Tina were here, nako, with the word alive on cue. Alive forevermore. No. But, you know, I think the reason why we are maybe leaning heavily towards talking about faith and scripture and whatnot, which, yes, still a part of the HWPL Peaceworks. But as I pointed out earlier, I think we are living now in a time in the Peaceworks of HWPL where the two are now kind of converging more and more. So it'll be exciting to see how this develops.
Yeah.
And I know we have a new time slot on the show, right? It's 1 hour long. We have a friend of HWPL who is actually coming on after us, right? What kind of show is this? I mean,
Archipreneur.
That's the title. Is Archipreneur.
Yung book title din, Archipreneur.
Oh my gosh. So what's the concept? Si Archie, of course, is an architect.
Yeah.
Archie Alfred Carandang, right? Who's the host of the show.
So they're gonna talk about, yung base lang sa alam ko is that architects also need, you know, yung entrepreneurship skills. Kanya, may entrepreneur side din siya. Yeah.
So he's gonna share his knowledge
and expertise
that he has accumulated over how many years in his career now?
Tinuturo niya din yan sa mga students.
All right. So before we wrap, Miss Rica, you know, maybe we should thank again, I think I'm so amazed when I see all the different kinds of people that get involved in the work that we do, like the aforementioned Archie Alfred, who we met because of our friends over at Rotary.
Yes.
Big bike riders, right? That's Rotary QC. Many other chapters, women's groups, the youth, the academe, ano pa ba? In the realm of politics. Nako, politics right now is so happening. But yeah, we have friends as well who help us advance our cause.
Yes.
And we're so grateful that we get to continue to work with them.
Yes. And I believe and I have faith naman na, you know, that the right people will be elected this time of the election. You know, people will really...
What makes you so confident? I want to hear.
May type pa ba? O sige, before, kasi diba, nag-activista kasi ako
Correct.
before.
You know, you have such a colorful past. I mean, you were involved in so many different things. So dynamic.
Fun youth
times.
times.
And she's still so young, by the way. And yet, continue,
Ayun.
please.
Anyway, I remember lang na nung aktivista ako, marami akong nakaaway ng mga kapwa Christians dahil magkaiba kami ng beliefs pagdating sa politics, pagdating sa, you know, this social issues, ganyan. And ako, that time, sobrang on fire ko. Ganito, ganyan. Kailangan natin ng change, ganyan.
Actually, where is the venue of these arguments? Like, face-to-face ba to?
Merong face-to-face, merong online, magulo.
Okay.
Everywhere. Ganon. So, pero mostly online kasi maraming keyboard warriors at the time. Talagang on fire talaga ako in advocating for, you know, the social issues na whenever may ganitong pangyayari, parang we have to put someone responsible, yung inelect nyo, ganito, ganyan.
Wow.
May ganon talaga. So, merong conflict dyan pagdating sa faith kasi merong verse in the Bible, I believe nasa Romans siya, na parang you should submit to all kinds of authorities because these authorities are parang in-appoint ng Diyos. So, may ganoong verse. So, merong mga contradicting interpretations dyan. Kasi there are also Christians na parang progressive na, of course, you have to submit to the authorities if man of God sila. Pero what if hindi nila sinusunod yung batas ng Diyos, di ba? What are you gonna do? And then there's another argument na, in Habakkuk, merong ganitong leader na hindi naman talaga alagad ng Diyos, pero malupit, pero kailangan mo pa rin sumunod, mga ganong ano. So may mga ganong conflicting na arguments. So I was there in the middle, parang yun yung naging dilemma ko. Lord, ano bang gagawin ko? Tama ba itong ginagawa ko? Kasi I wanted to do this because, I believe na I have to do something for what I think is right. If I think the leader is, evil, I have to fight this person. Parang ganon.
Wait lang, I'm just so, parang ang lala because you know how they say the two things that maybe you want to stay away from, the two topics that you want to stay away from maybe in a social setting is like religion and politics,
Totoo
right?
yan.
But you put them together. So according to this verse, politically speaking, dapat ganito, ganyan. Ang intense. Ang intense.
That's true. Kaya yan din yung, parang non-negotiable ko na when it comes to dating afterwards. Sabi ko, before kami mag-date, kailangan ko nung alamin. Kasi kung hindi magkakagulo kami.
Wow!
But anyway, yun yung setup ko before. Yun yung dilemma ko before. Pero I came to a conclusion na there's a way to advocate for change, like in a society, in a way na you don't have to stumble anyone. Parang ganon.
Ideally,
so,
yeah.
in a way, parang I know in myself na ito yung tamang gawin. Of course, kung may leader na, sabihin natin, sinisira niya yung kagubatan, ganito, ganyan, for corruption, ganyan. Kung atakihin mo siya, like, ng face-to-face, ganyan, or very vocal ka, kung pwede kang makastumble ng isang believer na, for example, hindi kasing open-minded mo or merong ibang value sa'yo, yun yung magiging sin mo. Yun yung isang bagay na na-realize ko, na it's a sin in itself na makastumble ka ng iba, na nakakaaway mo yung kapwa mo Kristiyano. Whereas dapat, pinag-uusapan nyo ng maayos yung mga conflicting ideas nyo, di ba? Kasi iisa lang naman ang Bible.
So I'm assuming these arguments na, you're talking politics by quoting the Bible, like these don't end very well generally.
Yes.
No.
It's hard to end these things like very well. You have to be you have to talk to someone who's very, very open-minded para mag-end siya na, kunwari kahit magkaiba kayo ng opinion, you will agree to disagree and you will still respect each other. Pero bihira yung ganon. Kasi mostly, di talaga nag-end.
I can see how they can easily turn personal, these conversations.
Yes.
And the thing about Bible verses din talaga sometimes, you can really interpret a single verse in different ways.
Yes.
That's possible. So, I can see how parang tama rin naman yung intindi niya dun sa
Totoo
verse na yun,
yan.
no?
Base sa base sa stand mo,
Yes.
pwede mo siyang gamitin na susuporta sa'yo. Diba? Pero,
So you're saying na parang you're hopeful with the upcoming elections. I suppose on a personal level, you know better than to maybe parang the way you're gonna go about, so I suppose, like conversations.
hindi na ako mga away sa social
yung
media.
ganyan. So personally, you have a better feeling about the elections, but just like in general, I mean, is there something na you feel like parang mas optimistic ka with this one? Ganun ba yun?
Yes, because at this time, I think this generation has learned so much from the past. Although there's still conflicts, pero the younger generation is really much mas magaling silang mang-stalk sa social media. Mas magaling silang mag-research. So yun yung hope ko, na the younger generation, since we're born, during the internet era, and then there's a lot of information anywhere. Marami na rin akong mga nakilalang mga groups who do a lot of voters education, who make, this information about the different candidates na fair. They do background checking and everything. So, I look forward to a better elections na yung mga younger voters natin ngayon, including me, is mas educated pagdating sa mga bagay na to.
Yeah, I have no issues or problems with the youth, I agree with you. I think they're a lot more savvy now. And being internet natives, they really know how to use that for their advantage. Yes, hopefully. Saying hi to Miss Carrie, who says, watching here and thanking you, my dear friends, for being with Voice of Peace. You are giving us good information and insight in the light of peace and faith. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That is such a
Tita
lovely
Carrie.
message. Yes. Okay. So in a little bit, we're gonna welcome Arky Alfred Carandang, who again is a great friend of HWPL.
Yes.
He actually went to a World Peace Summit one time
Last
with
year.
me. Yes, we were
Yeah.
there together. He's such a helpful guy. And is this the first day of his show?
Yes.
Oh my.
Congratulations.
He is launching his show today, so
Pilot
please
episode.
stick around. Do you want to end with anything, Miss Rica? We only have a few minutes left
Yeah,
on the
ano
program.
ba? I think I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
We should invite everyone to, of course, become members of HWPL Philippines. We are always
Yes,
looking
yes.
for people to work with us, and there are many ways to do that. Our three main initiatives, of course, are peace education, religious harmony, and international law. But those are like the three broad brackets. There are many, many different ways that we can participate, like through our events. You can also donate, of course. These things take resources. If you'd like to do that, fantastic. You can check out our Facebook page, HWPL Philippines. There you go.
All right. So I believe we have more pictures pala
We
of
do?
the interfaith dialogue.
Okay.
I just remembered because I was there last I think October 21 if I'm tama ba? September 21. So we invited different religious leaders, yung mga partners natin from Hinduism, from Christianity, from Islam, and then they had the interfaith dialogue. Parang watch party siya nung naging interfaith religious session
cute.
sa South Korea. Ayan. So if you can flash the pictures, that would be great. Pero ayun, it was-
Kickstart did happen. No, this did happen.
Ayun. But anyway, it was really nice seeing them, come together. We ate together. I cannot forget kung gaano kasarap yung food ng mga Hindu. So, thank you, Prabhu Mahendra Das.
Is it
and the
vegetarian?
ISKCON. Yes. Pero grabe, iba talaga yung
Yeah.
luto nila. Kasi first time ko nakatikim before, I think that was during the pandemic, yung veggie meat. Pag kinain mo siya, akala mo talaga karne. Pero gulay pala. Sabi ko, first time ko nakakain ng ganito. Tapos, yung spaghetti nila, basta lahat ang sarap talaga. Sabi ko, hindi mo akalain na vegetarian. Kasi parang may stereotype, di ba, before, na parang pag vegetarian, ganyan, salad-salad lang.
I'm sure they've mastered the art
Yes,
of making
sobra.
vegetables taste fantastic.
Sobra. Kaya, ayun. I hope we will have, I'm looking forward, we have more events kasi talagang very active sila sa community. Nagpapa-feeding sila sa mga bata, sa communities. So, I'm looking forward. And one day, sinuggest ko nga po ito kay Maharaj Pandey na magkaroon ng cooking session yung mga women and mga youth, di ba? Tapos we
Oh,
learn
how fun.
how they cook their food, the halal way or the Hindu way. It would be really nice.
Yan yung parang sinasabi mo, Miss Rica, kanina, yung culture and peace,
Yes.
can go together. We can share and
Yes.
learn about each other's ways of doing things and how
Yes.
fun. And then you can share a meal after that.
That's true. Kasi when you learn about another person's culture, you get to understand them better. Bakit sila ganito? Bakit ganito yung ugali nila? 'Di ba? And another example lang, even here, dito lang sa Pilipinas, dati kapag kami nakikita kami or kaklase kami na Bisaya, for example, tapos hindi sila nagpo-po at opo, parang you would think na may pagka-rude yung tao na yun. Pero sa culture nila, wala kasing ganon, po at opo. But that doesn't mean they're disrespecting the elders. Sadyang wala lang yun sa language nila. So, you come to an understanding na, wala yung mga ganon.
Great example to end
Anyway,
this
ang dami ko
episode
nang sinabi.
on. Yes, yes.
Would you like to share something?
I mean, for me, thank you so much for having me again today. And whatever Ganap's HWPL has, of course, you're going to hear it first and get updates here first. So please join us again next Tuesday in our new time slot, 11 to 12 noon. Coming up, we have Arky Alfred Carandang for the launch of his new show, Arkypreneur.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And again, thank you for watching and see you on our next episode.
Sa lawak ng daan, ilang pangarap ang tutungo sa ginhawaan. Ligtas na uuwi, ligtas na